So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fifth day and the last day of the webinars conducted by English Forum Narayanpet on behalf of DEO Office Narayanpet. So today, again, we have two speakers. The first speaker is Harinath Bevula sir. He is a SRP from ECRT and he hosted so many webinars. He has vast of experience. As we know, he will share so many things in the WhatsApp group. He have his own WhatsApp group, English 123. The WhatsApp group number is, and he is a good orator also. Now today he is going to take online assessment tools. So it's a very useful tool for all of our teachers during this pandemic situation. How to use the tool? He will show us live demo. So all of us listen to his class and learn something, and later we will implement those things in our respective classrooms. So today we have the last session will be validatory function session. So after the completion of second session, our DOSR will interact with all RPs from first day to fifth day. So I request all the participants kindly be in the meeting and participate. So with this short discussion, I would like to invite Harnath Bemala sir to start his session. Now over to Harnath Bemala sir.
Namaste, madam.
Sir, Harnath Bemala sir, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Is it audible?
Audible, sir, audible. Welcome to the
Thank you so much.
Narayanpet DEO officer. Kindly start your session.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. This wonderful Narayanpet, such a new district like us, Jagitial, and I love to participate one among you. Thanks for inviting me. And in this session, I simply conclude within 40 or 35 or 40 minutes. I would love to introduce how better we can assess using online tools, particularly a free tool which is provided by Google. Google, you know pretty well, it's a big company in the world and providing many free tools for us like YouTube, blogs, or something else. In the similar manner, they provide us Google Forms. Google Form is a powerful tool to test our children, to make them very enthusiastic while doing their exercises, right? Now I will share my screen, and so that I will show you is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Right.
Okay.
So now I am doing something on a desktop. You can do it using an application, but there is something difficulty in using application. Instead of using application, we can use Google Chrome. Through the Google Chrome, we can make better Google Forms to check the comprehension or something else from our students. Right, just to open Google Chrome and type forms Google and enter. Here you will find the list of results, but among them we have to check docs.google.com forms. Here you can see docs.google.com and here forms. It asks us to get signed in. So let us click on Google Forms sign in. So as I have logged out of my Google ID, it's asking to log in. So I select my Gmail ID here to get logged in. So for everybody who has got a Gmail ID will be able to get into Google Forms. So it is my password. It is already entered here. Now I am signing in. As I have worked earlier, it shows like this, but in the very beginning, first time when you open, it shows in a different way. So when you open Google Forms by using your Gmail ID, when you get into login, you will see like this. And here you can see, one second please. Here you can see a plus symbol. When you hover over your mouse over the plus symbol, you will get two. One is choose template. They are already well prepared. But when we are preparing ourselves, there may be different aspects and different reasons to create a different Google forms. So we will select a new form, create a new form. Just clicking on new form, you will get an interface like this. So here you can see untitled form. This is called the title of the Google form that we are going to prepare. And here title, this title is the title of your quiz or title of your question paper or title of your queries or something else. Whatever the title you may give here, and you can give both titles the same. For example, I am giving here So I wanted to give a questionnaire on webinars of Narayanpet, so that I have created giving a title webinars of Narayanpet. We can give some description over there. So it's just whatever the information you want to convey to the participants, you can write over here. It's just an information. And you can change the title as well here, just when you click, and the same title has been replaced here. Now the Google form is titled Webinars of Narayanpet, and this Google form automatically saves. You can see here, all changes saved in Drive. So as you have gotten a Gmail, you will be given a Drive space, Google Drive. So whatever the number of Google forms you create, they will be saved in your Google Drive. You can access from Google Drive whenever you want. So it is already saved in Google Drive. You no need to save again and again. It will automatically save itself, right? There are many choices to give or prepare a question paper or a questionnaire to check our comprehension of our children, there may be we use multiple a short answer question or one word question, different types of questions we use to check the comprehension levels of our children. So when we give a test in the school, it will be very difficult for us when the strength of the school is very high. For instance, our school has got 300 students, and in our class 10 there are about 90 plus students. So it will be very difficult for us to check all the answers. And but when we use for short answer questions and multiple choice questions or one word answer questions or fill in the blanks, such type of questions using this Google form, it will check the answers of students automatically and gives the results immediately. So this is very helpful for a teacher. It will be very handy too. Now let us try. So here you can see untitled question. It is the very first question. It is untitled, but we can, the place here, you can see the place here is meant to type a question. So here I would love to type the name of the student, because in every answer sheet we need the name of the student. So I typed the name of the student. Here it will automatically change it to multiple to short answer question. When you click over here, you will see different kinds of answers you expect for this question. Short answer question, paragraph type answer, multiple choice answer. We cannot give for a student's name multiple choice, but it is possible when the students number of students are limited, then you can prepare a drop down list of giving new number of names of different students, and they will check their own name instead of typing, and that is a different thing. But here we will give a short answer question, right? So it is a question which is prepared, and it must be a mandatory, because the student must write his name to identify whose answer sheet is it. So thus it, we will make it mandatory. For that, here below the question you can see required button. Just click it, it will become a required question. Right before going to the next question, we have to make this question paper into a quiz. For that, we need to check the setting button over here. You can see here the settings button. Just click on the button, you will find a new pop-up window, and general information is there, presentation is there, quiz is there. So for in general information, you will find collect email addresses. If you check it, then the Google form itself automatically asks the participants to enter their mail IDs. Let us save it. Check. Now, before I haven't entered email ID here, but when I checked there, enter email IDs, then it automatically asks the participants to enter a valid email ID. But for our children, it is difficult to find email IDs for them. So we should not, I personally, I never used an email for our children. So I uncheck it and save. Now see, it was disappeared. So it never asks you again any email ID to enter, because it is the setting. When you check, it will ask email ID. When you don't check, it won't ask you any email ID, right? And here one more option is there, limit to one response. So there is a chance to ask the participants to give one or more responses. But here, if you limit to one response, let us see what happens. When you limit to one response, the participant must log into his Gmail ID and participate in the quiz. Right here, see what happens. Limit to one response. Yes, the Gmail whatever the Gmail it may be he has, with that Gmail it accepts his answers. I would must log into and it is very difficult for children too. So I never use this required sign in or limit to one response, because he may write many a time, no problem. For a particular test, it would be better to limit to one response, but for different kinds of tests or such our worksheets, till now we are practicing in our schools. For worksheets, it will be best to let him write many a time. What happens? He goes through the text again and again, and he searches the textbook again and again. That will be benefited for him. So limit to one response will be difficult for the children. When you check the limit to one response, he has to log into his Gmail ID to answer these questions. So uncheck or check these at your will and wish. Right then, another option is there, edit after submit. Once the student completed his submitting answers, he will be asked whether you want to submit another or whether you want to edit your answers. If you want to give him a chance to edit his answers, you can check it. If you don't want to give him a chance to edit his own answers again, you uncheck. See summary, chart and text responses. There will be a summary of the questions. For example, you have given 10 questions. The very first question will be displayed there, and 100 students participated in that question. How many students participated in that, and how many students did the correct answer? The summary will be given for the participants. If you wish to give the information to the participants, you can check this. If you don't want to give them the information, you just check it. That is your wish and your will. This is the very first preliminary before we are going to prepare a question or a quiz using Google Forms, the general information. Right. I would love to give edit after submission for my children, because I want to make them to go through again and again using
Sir,
quizzes or
Vemula
the
sir,
text.
Vemula sir, one
Right,
thing
I will
you are
give. And again, you can find their presentation.
Vemula sir,
Right.
your
Sir,
audio is not clear. Just
okay.
adjust.
Right.
So
Now,
breaking, sir.
now let me know whether it is audible.
Now it is clear, sir. Now it is clear. Okay,
Right.
continue.
Thank you so much. Right. So this is the general information for each Google form, and let us go to presentation. Right. After completing the quiz, show progress bar. If you check the show progress bar, that is nothing but you can see when you install an application in your computer or mobile, a line will be gone through from the left to right. In the similar manner, there will be a progress bar that will be shown to the participant. If you check, that bar will be shown. If you uncheck, that bar will not be shown. That's it. Shuffle question order. This is another important feature. You have given 10 questions, for example. Question number 1, 2, 3, and so on. 10 questions have been given, and you wanted to give the different question, same 10 questions in a different order for different students. For that, you will check it. If you check shuffle question order, for example, the very first question for Vijay Kumar sir will not be the first question for Harinath. That may be third question, that may be for fourth question for me, but that will not be the same first question for different students. That will happen. That will shuffle the question in different students, right? This is another option. Show to submit another response. If you check it, there will be an option after submitting the form. It will ask the student or the participant whether you want to submit another response. If you check it, the Google itself allow the participant to submit another answer sheet, another response. If you check it, it will accept. If you uncheck, it won't accept. write its duration, you can write the information you want to convey after the submitting. For participants, you can type here, or here your responses has recorded is uh, a default, but you whatever the text you wanted to convey, you can type over there. This is the presentation area. This is the second setting. And finally here, quiz. Everything is blurred here, right? Just you can see here, make this a quiz and make it on. Just dragging or clicking on it, it will be opened. Now the quiz is ready to share, right? When you drag it to the left side or uncheck it, it will not be a quiz give our participants. When you make it on, the Google form which you prepared will become a quiz, right? Here, for the grades are the results. If you want to give the participant results immediately when they submit their question paper, you have to check there immediately after each submission. If you check it after each submission, they will be prompted to check their result. If you don't want to give them immediate result, you can check it later review. If you check this button, which is later after manual review, that means the Google form will not allow the participants to see their results, but the Google form will allow the teacher who prepared question paper, who prepared Google form, to check every individual answers after their name and their responding question. So after checking, you give
Sir,
results
Vemula sir, sorry for
manually.
the break.
If you check
Sir,
the
Vemula sir.
sir, please,
Hello,
please.
Vemula sir.
Hello,
Vemula sir,
sir.
your signal strength is not good. I think the audio is breaking, sir. The audio is breaking and again and again.
Okay, one second, one second. Right.
Just check it, sir. The
So I'm
proper.
using an advanced microphone. Right, right. I'm using actually an advanced microphone that won't
Your
be
microphone
happen,
is
but
good.
it might be the network error.
Network error. I think
Right,
just adjust it, sir.
right.
Okay.
It might be
Because
network error.
we are
It's a
seeing so many.
microphone which is bought for my right,
Okay,
right,
we
sir.
are seeing so many messages in chat box. That's what I am saying.
Right, right, right. So now is it audible clearly? Hello, sir. Vijay, sir. Hello. Uh, hello, Vijay Kumar, sir. Hello, sir. Hello. Sir, is it audible now? Vijay Kumar, sir, or anybody else? Please let me know whether I am audible or not. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Host, sir.
Sir, okay, sir. Now it is okay.
Right, right. The response is
Okay,
needed.
okay. Continue yourself.
Right, right, right. Now the time for quizzes. Right. Here, when you check this immediately after submission, the result will be immediately given to the participants. If you check later, and you have to check every individual, and you have to give results for individual participants. And this is the difference for checking these two buttons. And the next, these three respondents can see what you want to give him a chance to see regarding these three options. Missed questions. If you check these missed questions, when you release the results, they will see their missing questions. If you check this one, they will see their correct answers. If you check this one, they will see their points and values were after releasing the key. This is the way that we preliminarily in the beginning of the preparing a Google form. Now finally we have to save it. So something we have checked here, and I would love to uncheck it. All right. Here you can see the very first one. Before that, we have not got this option, answer key. Before making it a quiz using these settings, we haven't got this answer key. Now we have got answer key, but it is not a question, name of the student. So just clicking on it, answer key, here you will see the number of points you will allot for this question. So it is not a question, it's just information we are getting from the students, hence it will be a 0 points awarded, right? Just clicking on the done, this will be a question ready for quiz. Next, here you can see different options. This is the adding question option. If you click on this plus button, another question will be added here, a new one. And in the same manner, in the right side, you can see over here multiple choice. When you click on it, you can make this question as a short answer question, as a paragraph question, as a multiple choice question, as a checkbox question, as a drop down list question, or you can upload file over here. Right. I would love to make a multiple question. Here you see an image of an image symbol. Click this, it asks you upload an image. Instead of upload an image as well, right? So this is another way. Instead of typing, you can give an image as a question. So it will ask you uh, to upload an image, and that is the different thing. If you want to give an image, you can click on it and give an image. Otherwise, you can type a question over there. So here, this is my question. Who spoiled the harmony in the forest? So it is intended for classics. And when you click over here and option one, you can give the tiger. Just clicking on add option, you can add second option, the peacock. Clicking on add option, you can give third one, the jackal. Clicking on another option, you can get fourth one, the sadhu. So thus you can give four or many. How many multiple choice you want to give? You can. So instead of giving the text, you can also give image for each answer. So you can give an image for a question, and you can give an image for each answer too. So whenever you want to give an image as an answer, you can upload an image here clicking, and you can upload an image as a question as well. Thus I have given four options. Giving just four options will not give our proper results over here, and for that we have to make it required. Clicking on the required button, it will be mandatory for the participant to answer this question. In the same manner, the Google form has to find out which one is the correct one. For that, we have to give a right answer for that. Just clicking on the just clicking on the answer key, you will find a different format here, done and add answer feedback, etc. And what is the correct answer? It's a jackal. So I'm selecting jackal. Now you can see right mark here. That means it is the correct answer for this question. And you can give additional information for this question as well by clicking add answer feedback. So it will show you if the student opted a wrong answer, you can give a message to him. You can type over here. 1 second, please. So if he does a mistake for this question, I would love to give him information regarding, please read the text again. That means the student has to read again. If the student, when we click here, correct answer, if the student gives an exact answer, we will encourage them. I say just well done, save. Thus, the two things, feedbacks, if the student opted correct answer, he will be prompted well done. If the student tick the wrong choice in his responses, he will get, please read the text again, or you can type whatever you want to, then click on done. It will become a question. For instance, you want to make it, give it a 2 marks, just click on answer key and you will find here 1 mark. Just clicking on here, you can increase the score or you can decrease the score. So for multiple choice, we usually give 1 mark. So 1 mark is selected. And every time when we edit answers, answers means the correct answer and feedback and points. These three issues come under answer tab. We have to click on done. When it is clicked on done, this question is prepared to share, right? So in this way, we can prepare different types of question papers and share. So you can add different things. Here you can see another option, import to questions. So import to questions means if you have prepared already different number of Google forms, you can import the questions from them. In a Google form, you have created 100 questions. You want to take 10 questions from that Google form, so that you can open a Google form, clicking over here and get 10 questions from a different form to this particular form. Today we are trying to make a new thing, right? And this is another thing, add title and description. This is a different thing. In the initially we have typed over here webinars of Narayanpet. Instead of this, if you want to make a different title or in a texture, or you want to give an image of your DEO holder boarding something, you can use this, give a title for this Google form in a different way. And this is add image. You can add an image other than this question. If you don't want to use an image using the question, so, but you want to give an image before the question, the student has to look into the image and he has to answer the questions below. Such kind of questions will be happened using this add image button. And this is add video button. If you click on this button, it will ask you if you want to upload a video, or if you want to give a link from YouTube or somewhere else. Wherever on the net you can find different videos, and you can copy the link of the video and paste over here, so that you will get a video will be played there in the question paper itself. And this is a different thing, making sections. So this is the uh, preliminary information for this Google form. And here you want to make it a different section. You just click it, it will start to give another section 2 of 2. In the same manner, you can give first question, second question, third question, or a paragraph or something else like that. As lacking of time, I will love to show you another Google form. Just today I have prepared to show you. After preparing this, what we have to do is the most important thing. Just we have to click on send button. Just clicking on the send button, you will get three options. One is mail, another one is link, the third one is embedding link. These three are different. If you click it, just type over here to whom you want to send this Google form. Type over here their mail IDs, so that they will get their mails this Google form, right? If you click this, you will get a link. So clicking on copy, it will be copied, and you can paste it in groups to send this Google form to different students or different groups. Nowadays you are getting different Google forms in our numerous groups of English language teachers. So this is the way that they prepare their Google form, and using this link they have been sending their Google forms. And this is the third way, which is also a link, but it will not be helpful for others except who use their blogs. When you have a blog, you can paste this link in your post so that it will be displayed there in your site. For example, in my site, english143.in, the level 2 worksheets, all the level 2 worksheets have been prepared in this way and pasted in my blog, so that you will get there in itself in www.english143.in. So but for our students, it is best to use this link, the second one, and you can paste somewhere on the social media, wherever you want to send, right? This is the way that creating a Google form and sending a Google form. Now a sample form will be shown to you. Right. Elta Telangana is the form. Just a few seconds, it's loading. Right. I have prepared this form for today. Name, school. So this is the information I want to get from them, and divided into different sections. This is the first section, just getting the preliminary information from the participant. And the second section, read the following questions and answer accordingly. The first question is, you can see one word answer. It gives the information to give one word, and it is a multiple choice question. It is checkbox question, and it is a complete sentence question. I have given a picture here and asked a question. It's a checking answers. So which districts you are working? As an answer, as an option, I have given different images for this question here, and I have created a different section for a video, how to embed a video. And embedding a video, after that I have asked a question. Just please friends, I will share in chat box this Google Forms link now here. Just to see, clicking on send button, selecting the center one and making it a copy. Video security. Right now I have sent you using our chat box the link of the Google form. Just go through it and answer it within few seconds. Let us see the results, because we have lack of time. It's now 11:40. Within 2 or 3 members, just whatever the answer, whether it is right or wrong, nothing to worry. Just click on the form and answer the form, please. Few members, so that we will see our responses. How can we see the students' response using this Google form? Hello, sir. Please do it. Just I have sent you a Google form in your chat box. Just to click it, and whatever the answer it might be, just check, so that we will check how the responses will be seen after sending our quiz, our question paper. Please. At least two or three. Right, till now one response has been recorded. You can see here under the section responses, one response have been recorded. Yes, now you can see the number has been changed to 2. Till now it's 1, but now it's 2. So second, third one has also fourth one. So 4 members have been submitted. Right, let us check now. 5 submitted. Right, right. Thank you so much. Now this is the question paper that we have prepared using different questions, using a short answer one word question, using a multiple choice question, using check boxes question. And for check boxes and short answer or one sentence answer question, a one word answer question, and checking words question, picture questions. So different questions. Even we embedded a video over there and asked a question. Right, till now we had responses. Let us check how responses we will see. Here you can see questions button, and just after that you will see responses button. Just clicking on the responses button, you will get the responses and their information. So till now 9 participants submitted their responses, and now 10th one. So among the 10, the average result is 3.4 points for 10 points. For that, if we think these points are marks, so average participants have got their 3.4 marks for 10 marks. So uh, the range of the marks actually 0 to 10 is the actual range, but for the answers or the responses considered over here, what the responses or the marks started from 1 to 7 here, the range you can see. Or you can see a chart over here, how many got 3 marks, how many got 4 marks, how many got 2 marks, and how many got 1 mark. Even 5 marks nobody has got, 6 marks 1, 7 marks 1, even 10 marks nobody has got 10 marks there, right? So here you can see frequently missed questions. Why these frequently missed questions? If you have prepared such type of question paper, it will show you how many students have missed different question. For example, select the animals that can be tamed. This is the question, but only 2 responses are correct out of 12 responses. So till now, 12 participants submitted their responses, but among the 12 responses, only 2 responses are correct. So that we have to concentrate on this issue, and in the next classroom, we will address this issue. So frequently missed questions will help the teacher to teach again on a particular topic. Here, these are the names of the students or participants who participated there. Gauri Shankar, Riaz, Razia, Venkatramulu, and so on. Right, the school name, what we have asked them. So they have typed over there like this. So we can find from clicking on each one. And the next you will see uh, read the following questions and answer accordingly. Name the state in one word we asked them. So different answers have been derived over there. So some people typed 8.3% of responses come over there for Telangana in capitals, TS as capital, Telangana as the T capital, and others small letters. 58.3% of students and Telangana like this. In Telangana, somebody has typed Telangana in Telugu, so you can see their responses like this. For the question, find the correct sentence. We have given 4 sentences over there for the question, and the right answer is she hardly works hard. So among these submissions, till now we can see uh, 12 submissions. Among the 12 submissions, so you can see 50% opted right answer, and the rest of the 50% got the wrong answer. So that we have to address this question too. So in the similar manner, each question you can see how they responded, what will the answer they opted, and how much result has been taken from this issue. So this is the one way you can see the results or responses from them, and another way is there to download the complete results in Excel sheet. That is the great and important for us. Here you can see a plus symbol, create spreadsheet. So just clicking on this spreadsheet link, it will ask you create a new spreadsheet on your Google Drive. Just clicking over here, it will create. Right. So in the Google form, just we prepared and 14 responses have been recorded. So the time is also you can see there when they have responded or submitted their questionnaire. The result or the score they have gotten, the name, school, the first question answer, second question answer, third question answer. So thus you can see all the results of the students. Right, fifth class poem somebody written, the best of friends somebody written, a friend is in need is a friend indeed. These are the different answers we have gotten from different students, and you can see a particular student who is Ramesh Ahila, ZPHS Renivanta. He has answered Telangana, tigress or wild animals, horse, wild tiger, yes, woodpecker. You know pretty well the questions we have given. For the answers they have submitted, you can check there and you can take a print over here using this uh, spreadsheet, right? So this is all the way. Now it's 10 to 12. Thank you so much. If the time permits, you can ask queries and I'll answer you. Otherwise, no problem. You have a group, WhatsApp group, NRPet teachers. You can post there and I will answer. Thank you, Vijay sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Arnav sir. It's a live and wonderful session. So from DEO office, from DEO sir, and from English Forum Narayanpet, we will extend our thanks to you. Now it is our participant turn. If anybody want to
Thank you,
ask something,
sir.
please raise your hand. We will give you permissions. One or two participants.
Definitely, definitely, sir. If you permit, I will answer their queries.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Otherwise, they can ask in group. You have created a group and they can post in the group. I will answer there as well.
Okay, sir. Wait for 5 minutes. Let us. Program
So you can see here the worksheets I have prepared class 6, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Gurnath Vemula, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Was
much,
there-
sir. Thank you so much for Department of Education of Narayanpet and Vijay sir and all the teachers of Narayanpet District English. Thank you
So,
so much for inviting me and thanks for giving me for these 45 minutes. If it is fruitful, I'm very happy.
thank you.
Whatever the queries it might be, post in group will answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, it is time to invite our next speaker. Next speaker is Raghuram sir. And Raghuram sir's introduction will be given by our co-coordinator Narayan Reddy sir.
Good morning, all the participants. Sir, it's very pleasant time that we are going to invite Raghuram sir. Sir, Raghuram sir, is it audible? Raghuram sir. So, all the participants are again requested to listen to the very important session now, which is going to be conducted by Raghuram sir. Raghuram sir is well known for his excellent phonetics, pronunciation, how Indian students face difficulty in pronouncing, particularly with the British and American and Indian contexts. On these aspects, he is going to present a beautiful lesson, beautiful presentations on phonetics. That's why, on behalf of Narayanpet English Forum, on behalf of DEO Narayanpet, I request Raghuram sir, who has worked in Old Mabna District Center for English. He has been doing excellent services in Mabna District, particularly in phonetics and other English language aspects. He is a living encyclopedia like in Mabna District, what I feel personally. So such a legend has accepted to spare his time to share his ideas with all the non-paid English teachers. And particularly the context is very nice, the phonetics, how Indian students face or teachers feel difficulty in pronunciation, particularly in Indian context. That is what sir is going to take. So now I would like to invite Raghuram sir.
Yeah,
Raghuram sir,
I am here, but
it's over to you.
yeah.
Time, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting and continue, sir.
Right. Can you see my screen? There is some technical issue.
Yeah,
We are not. We are seeing your screen.
it is visible, sir.
Okay. There has been a small issue. I think I will settle it in a moment. Right.
Yes, sir. It's visible now.
Is it okay? Very good morning to all. Good morning to all my beloved teachers of English, and my welcome to all my colleagues working in various places of the country as my co-tutors of dish center schemes all over India, with special invitation to Dr. Tarun Tamoli from Zorhat, Assam. And I'm very glad to say that Miss Aishwarya Vardhani has recently joined our group. I've seen the message. Welcome to Miss Aishwarya. Thank you very much. Okay, dear friends, today's topic is, it could be a little bit tough or hard nut to crack. What people call phonetics, but it could be phonetics. Okay, that actually what happens. We say phonetics, and it should be pronounced as phonetics. Before jumping into the well of phonetics, first, let's have a bird's view eye of language. Friends, we're all human beings, and we identify ourselves by our cultural traits and our societal issues, and of course, language. We are so proud that no other creature, no other animal in the world can articulate can use the language. Of course, animals do have language, but they don't have any specific system. They may be working with a set of sounds. You can see our pet dog or a cat, when it's happy, it produces a particular sound, and if it's angry or anxious or painful, it produces certain sounds, and just only voice modulation, right? A big question is, why do we need language? 1 second, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. No, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah. Right. So this is our topic, and we human beings are unique, and we identify ourselves in terms of society, culture, and of course language. And we need a language for communication, and which is twofold. Human communication is manifested in oral mode as well as in written mode. And oral mode requires phonemes or speech sounds and utterances and oral discourses, whereas written mode, graphemes or letters and then paragraphs as well as written discourses. Right. And the problem with this, we are biologically programmed for language acquisition. And we have the language acquisition device, or LAD, and which helps us to acquire our mother tongue. And we are very good practitioners of mother tongue. We don't have any difficulty in using mother tongue in any context. And we are familiar with the sound system, the phonology of our mother tongue, the syntax, the morphology, and even semantics. And we use language here, L1, in any context without any difficulty or without any barrier. But the real problem begins here. However, in case of L2, in this context, English, there are some issues. The differences in phonetic features, the sound system, and the difference in syntax. And most of the Indian languages, V3 languages, because the verb is in the third position, whereas English is a V2 language, verb comes in the second position in many sentences, whereas some Scandinavian languages are V1 languages. So, and in India, in our Indian context, even interchangeability of language elements doesn't matter too much. Frankly speaking, if you break the rules of Telugu, you become a poet. For example, Nenu Badiki Vachanu. It's a common sentence in Telugu. Rather, if you say, Vachanu Nenu Badiki, people understand it, and you become a poet. They label you a good poet in Telugu, but it's not possible in English. If you say, I went to school, went I to school, no, it gives a red signal. There's a problem with syntax. And morphology, again, the word, word formation. And generally what happens, English has a specific word formation, morphological system. And the commonest feature we see, prepone. It is used only in Indian context, actually postpone, and the opposite word is advance or move on. But we say prepone, no problem, it is understood within India, within Indian context it's understood. But when we learn L2, what exactly happens? We import the rules. We import the features of mother tongue or L1 and we superimpose on L2. That causes unintelligibility. So two persons are conversation, and when we come across new speech sounds, what do? We substitute them with the familiar sounds of our mother tongue. I'll give you one example here. Ravi and Suresh are over the phone, and Ravi is asking, hello Suresh, where are you? I'm in the garden. So what are you doing? Oh, I am understanding the tree. So this gives a red signal to native speakers of English. And similarly, an Englishman is traveling in a train, and an Indian family, when the train reaches Hyderabad, and they say, oh, please get up, Hyderabad is coming. The Englishman is much worried. How can Hyderabad move? Rather, we reach Hyderabad or we have arrived at Hyderabad. But you cannot say Hyderabad is moving, no problem. It is also understood within India. But when we talk about global comprehension or global intelligibility, we need to abide by the system of English language. And here I'm going to give you a few examples, that causes some problems. One sentence, one of my teachers said, I'm going to taste you tomorrow. Okay, we were so much worried when we heard this. How can our teacher taste us? And another one is, English is very simple. And I can't understand English vowels. And snakes are ready. And let me tell you a story. And why are you so light? And ultimately, the last one is, I am signing my shoes. So all these sentences, good examples for what I can say, unnecessary application of L1 habits. And these could be the real sentences. I'm going to test you tomorrow. And English is very simple. It happens in particularly Tamil and Malayali because they have retroflex, and after m and n, they used to have a voicing sound. If you say simple, people understand, but you want to become a native Malayali, you should say symbol. Or if you want to be a native Tamilian, you should say pambu. A snake, it's called pampu. It is normal, but pambu, because after ma, pa becomes b, pambu. If you say pambu, you are a true native speaker of Tamilian. But if you say pampu, they understand, but they understand that you are not a native speaker of Tamil. So this is the problem. I can't understand English vowels. The problem with Bengali speakers, because they don't have v, they replace with it with the b, right? Rabindranath Tagore and Bani Devi. But sometimes it becomes very funny when you have names like Venkatesh or Venkatreddy or Bani Devi. We were so much worried. And similarly, snakes are ready. Again, it's a problem. It should be snacks are ready. And Hindi speakers, they have this problem because they don't have a short A. So they say late or let. They don't find any distinction. Let me tell you a story. But they say, let me tell you a story. And why are you so light could be late. So dear friends, these are all these examples necessitate the importance of English. Right, now the $1 million question is, why should we pay attention to English pronunciation? We believe that, like all the other languages, English is also one of the languages, and why should we pay extra rigorous attention to English language? There is something actually. The problem with this is there are 26 letters in English alphabet, but they represent 44 sounds. In English phonetics and phonology, Peter Roche suggests that there are 5 more vowel sounds or triphthongs are also added. Okay, but the number of sounds and the number of letters in the alphabet, there is mismatch. The other very important thing is some letters represent more than one sound, like you can see C here as in cat, but it is here race. Similarly, Y as in sky and city. And some sounds are represented by more than a letter, like seat, you can see S-E-A-T, and feel, receive. So that's why English is a very funny language and very complicated language. And why this happens? There is a lack of correspondence between spelling and pronunciation in English language. And when we look at the word in its spelling form, we find it difficult to ascertain its pronunciation. Because of this, it's better to learn a special kind of transcription or a code, the phonemic transcription of English, in which one symbol represents one and the only one sound, and in every context. Right. And the phonemic transcription, we find it in dictionaries particularly, and it helps us to recognize the pronunciation of sounds, of course, in words also. And we can find words with spelling form and phonemic transcription in dictionaries. And usually it is presented between the two slashes in dictionaries, we'll find them. And frankly speaking, the speech sounds are classified into two categories, as consonants and vowels, which is quite common. And it is believed that the speech is modified breathing. Generally, when we want to speak, we modify the way the air comes out. And the normal process, respiration takes inhalation and exhalation. But when you want to speak, the airstream selects its passage to produce a particular sound. And you know, because of this, we have categorized, okay, the speech sounds are categorized into two. When consonants, which are pronounced with the closed approximation, I mean to say, the airstream undergoes either friction or strict. It's not free during the articulation. And the vowels are pronounced with the open approximation. The airstream is totally free, right? And when we come to consonants, these are the three broad areas. One is place of articulation, which parts of the mouth are active, and manner of articulation, and the nature of the airstream. You know, it is complete closure or sudden release or slow release with audible friction, or release without friction, or laterally released. Okay, and a nasal release or oral release. And voicing. This is very important. When you come to consonants, you can categorize them into voiceless and voiced. It's very clear how to identify. When we produce a particular sound, just make an attempt. You can feel by touching our throat. For example, say two words like, you know, pin and bin. So just once you touch our throat, you will feel the vibration while articulating bin. But when we pronounce pin, we don't find any articulation. Sorry, when you don't feel any vibration. One strategy, or yes, you can close. We can close our ears and produce this sound like, you know, pat and bat. Pat and bat. You will feel the vibration. This is one strategy which helps us to identify the voicing feature. And this is the passage. The speech organs are there. Here, lips, two lips, and teeth, upper teeth and lower teeth, and the teeth ridge, and the front of the mouth, or hard palate, or the center of the mouth, or even soft palate, or we can call velum, and here glottis. And this is nasal cavity, right? This is what we call oral cavity and nasal cavity. So when we produce nasal sounds, it comes down, it closes the passes. And it is, the airstream is released through the nostrils. And that's why you have three nasal sounds in English, like m as in month, and then na as in now. Sir.
Sir, sorry for the interruption. Whether you opened your PPTs or not, sir?
Yeah, I have already opened it. Can't you see my screen?
No, sir. Just to stop and reshare, sir.
Okay. I have already opened. Why don't you try to share my screen?
It is already shared, sir. You do one thing. You stop sharing.
I can. 1 second, Vijay. I can see my slides on my screen.
But here we are not seeing your slides, sir.
My God, one moment. I'll redo it. I'm sorry. We are like, you know, a blind man in a dark room looking for a black cat. Can you hear me at least?
Okay, sir. Your audio is okay. Audio is clear, but we are not seeing your PPTs.
Okay.
First page
what shall I do now, Vijay?
You just stop sharing the screen and reshare it, sir.
I have done already. Okay, I'll do it right now. I'll do it.
You go from the beginning, sir.
Oh, you want me to?
No. Screen sharing, go from the beginning. You stop everything and reshare it.
Shall I stop my video?
Video is no problem, sir. Only the sharing of the screen is problem. We are seeing your textbooks, phonetics, Narayanpet, everything, but it is not open.
Is it? Oh my God. Let's see it. Is it? No, can you? Okay.
No,
No?
no,
No, what I will do, I will leave the meeting and I will rejoin.
no, don't leave the meeting, sir. Just to reshare the screen once again. Stop sharing and reshare once again.
1 second, I'll do it now. Right now.
Because you open.
1 second. Is it okay? Vijay?
Not visible, sir.
Not visible, sir. Still it is like that only.
My God.
Any technical problems are there?
That is from your side only, sir.
For me, it is. No.
You do one thing, sir.
Vijay, 1 second, 1 second.
Rejoin.
That's better, I think, what I would.
So it's better to rejoin, I think.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay.
Now it is.
Can you see?
Yes, we are seeing, but the PPTs
Ah,
are
no,
not.
what my screen, my screen.
Your screen is visible, sir. First also it is visible. But what you are saying that you are opened your PPT, those are not visible.
Now?
Not also.
No, sir.
Sorry.
No, sir. No, no.
Is it okay?
It is not open, sir.
Narayan? No problem. Sir, problem there only.
No, actually, I can see the same system.
Now you are visible clearly on the screen, but
Sorry.
Your video is visible, sir. But your PPTs are not opened properly.
Now, okay, Vijay.
First page is okay, sir. Now we are seeing the blocks, textbooks, everything is there. But when you clicking that one, we are not seeing it.
continuity is not coming.
One second.
Now we are seeing the home page, sir.
Sorry.
Home page.
But the screen sharing is disabled for me. You please check your system.
No, sir. Screen sharing is there.
Okay. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. One second, I think I'm receiving messages. Our participants are asking me to continue, but meanwhile,
Yes, home page is visible, sir.
Okay.
no, what I will do is I request you to, I will rejoin, okay. That might serve the purpose.
But we are running shortage of time. Without PPTs, you continue, sir.
Shall I?
Okay, sir. No problem.
Wait.
In the meantime, we will try it.
Okay.
Because,
shall I continue? With your permission, I will continue without PPTs. Okay.
Without PPTs,
Right.
continue, sir.
Right. My job is relieved. Thank you very much. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, there is some technical issue, and yeah, we'll resolve.
Okay.
Sir, now it is visible, sir. Your PPTs are visible.
Thank you. Is it okay now?
Okay. Everything is okay. Continue.
Right. Thank you very much. Now I am on cloud 9. Cloud 9, someone who is very happy, you can say cloud 9. Right. This is done, our friends. And yeah, here. So when we come to the place of visible, thank you very much. Yeah. The problem is we are in a new world now. So we have to accommodate ourselves with this, the technological world. And I can see my friend Tarun, welcome to our session. Right. So when we work with the place of articulation, that tells us about what parts of the mouth are active. So categorically, we say bilabial, in which two lips are active, and labiodental. Lower lip is the active articulator, and the upper teeth is the passive articulator. And whereas the dental, the tip of the tongue is the active articulator, and the upper teeth, passive articulator. Alveolar sounds, tip of the tongue is the active articulator, and the teeth ridge is the passive one. Post-alveolar, tip of the tongue is the active, and the front part of the roof of the mouth is the passive articulator. This is the category. Palato-alveolar, the tip of the tongue and the front. So how it moves actually. So the consonant sounds of English, the beginning is p, b, because here the active articulators are the two lips, bilabial, p, b, m, and w. These are bilabial. Then we are coming back to labiodental. Labiodental, lower lip and upper teeth. As in fan, v, as in van. Dental, the tip of the tongue and the upper teeth, as in th, as in think, the, as in this. And alveolar, the teeth ridge and the tip of the tongue, as in t, d, s, z, l, n, and so on. And we are moving to the post-alveolar. We go a little back, as in ch and j, and you go back to sh and j, and the palatal sound is j, and velar, the back of the tongue. So dear friends, my suggestion is that please stand in front of a mirror and keep producing all the sounds. You'll see what exactly is happening inside the mouth. And velar sound, the back of the tongue, as a k, g, and and final glottal sound is ha. The English consonants beginning from bilabial and end with the glottal sounds, and you will find some pharyngeal sounds as in Arabic, as in ha, as they pronounce Quran, and Khalid. They say in Indian context we say Khalid, Khalid, but Arabic speakers they say Khalid or Khalid, Khalid. So some sound, because every language has its own system, right? And the manner of articulation, this tells us how the air stream is released. It is complete closure and sudden release, as in plosives or stops, as in pa, ba, t, d, k, and g. And the fricatives is complete release and complete closure and slow release with audible friction. As in, we have so many fricatives, f and v, z, sh, okay, and affricates without friction, as in ch, as in cheap, and j, as in judge. And the nasal sounds, complete oral closure. We have three nasal sounds in English, as in ma, as in many, and na, as in no, and as in kingdom. And the lateral liquid is l. Here the air stream is released laterally, as in like, late, and retroflex r, and glides are, we have two semivowels, ja and w. Why do we call them semivowels? Because they are articulated with open approximation. They share the features of vowels, but they are not vowels. A strong rule is that they are never found in the nucleus position of a syllable. That is the only rule. Coming back, here is the categorization of all the consonant sounds. The dark shade represents the voicing consonants, and the light one, brighter one is the voiceless position. Okay, don't worry, I'll share the slide to you. So here the vertical lines tell us place of articulation, and horizontal lines, they tell us the manner of articulation. So when you are classifying consonantal sounds, the three-term label, place of articulation, sorry, first voice of articulation and then place of articulation. And for example, if you take the phoneme pa, pa is a voiceless, so voiceless, bilabial, stop or plosive. Or if you take ka, voiceless, velar, voiceless, velar plosive. Or if you take ma, it is voiced, bilabial, nasal. So this is the three-term label we use for consonants, and this is not a problem. In most cases, almost all the consonants are similar to us, except a few, as in je, as in pleasure, and rouge. This is a typical English consonant sound, but what we do, we replace it with the ja. Pleasure, rather we say pleasure, it's understood. Rouge. Rouge is a French word, but rather it is in English and we say rouge. No problem, it's understood within Indian context. The problem with vowels. So when we talk about vowel sounds, and this is very important, which part of the tongue, front, central or back, and the height of the tongue is either closed or half closed, half open, and the roundedness of the lips, right? So there are 20 vowel sounds in English language. We call them pure vowels, 12, and the diphthongs are the glides. Why do we call them glide? They start at a particular vowel and it moves towards the other one. For example, if you take two words like, let and late. So let, you have A, just one sound, but late, it begins with the A position and the moves towards E position. So late is a diphthong, whereas let is a pure vowel. So these are not much important, and 5 diphthongs are there, like ea, ova, ova, no problem. But in connected speech, they are reduced to diphthongs. So as of now, we can believe that there are just 44 sounds. Right, this is a vowel diagram, and what exactly happens? Here, the front close, just imagine what exactly is happening. You can produce a sound as in E, as in seat, feel, neat. So what is happening? The front part of the tongue is heightened and close, very close, you can see. And try to find 2 words. One is, feet and fit. Feet, fit. So the tongue comes down. Feet, fit. Fat, fat. So keep doing all the experiment. So you can say beat, bit, bet, bat. So what exactly happens? Beat, the tongue is here. Beat, bit, bet, bat. So we call them front vowels, the front part of the tongue, and you can say this is front close, and this is front open. You say beat, bit, bet, and bat. So these are back vowels. So you understand the back of the tongue and the back. Okay, it is heightened. And for example, you can say feel, fool. Try to pronounce these two. Feel, fool. So oo is a back high vowel. And another category is rounded and unrounded. In English, we have oo, and o, and o. Only 4 rounded vowels are there. So these are the phonemes, as in E as in sheep, E as in ship, A as in 10, A as in cat. And if you go to back vowels, R as in car, O as in hot, saw as in O as in saw, put, and you. And these 3 are central vowels. And within Indian context, this is a little bit tough. Actually, Cart, for example, let us take two words like C-A-R-T, cart, and this is cart. So keep saying cart, 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 and try to round your lips, you get O. Cart, 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 cart. And these two vertical dots represent the length. For example, E and E, they differ in terms of vowel length. That's how this is a long vowel. The two dots represent the long vowel, and without dots, the short vowel, right? O as in cart, and this is a longer one as in cart, C-O-T, cart here, and cart, C-A-G-H-T, you say cart. Similarly, full and fool, full and fool. And among central vowels, this is familiar as in sun. We don't have any problem. As in sun. This is the shortest vowel. We call it schwa. We find it a word ending position generally. As in go, account, away, loss, mother is the final position. And this one is a little bit unfamiliar for us. You can say shut, S-H-U-T, shut. You can say shirt. And look at somebody angrily, you can say shirt, S-H-I-R-T, shirt, shut, and shirt. I believe after the session, all of the participants will stand in front of the mirror and keep practicing all this. Good luck. Right. So these are the diphthongs we have already discussed. And diphthongs, you know, it begins with A and moves to A, as in name. But in Indian context, we say name, no problem, it is understood. But when you come to global intelligibility, we need to abide by this. Name, as in oil, soil, toil, and I, my, this is no problem. But here, A, in many cases, we replace it with A, the long A. And O, as in goat, O, over, we replace it with the long O, as in goat, over. It should be over. And ow, now, foul, doubt, we have it in our language. And these are ear, as in near, dear, fear, and poor. Sure, we say poor, is understood, but in terms of international acceptability, we should say poor. And air, where, but we say where, right? And most of the Indian speakers don't distinguish between pleasure and pressure and wine. Here, were, and it is wa. Wa is labiodental, were, and this is bilabial, wa, wine. And the past tense marker and the plural marker, this is again an issue. The plural morpheme is or S or ES, and for all voiceless sounds, when they precede this particular morpheme, as in cat, cats, bat, bats. But for voicing sounds, as in, you know, bud, birds, bud, birds, rag, rags. But for these sounds, for affricates and sir, sure, ch, and j, it is pronounced as is, as in bus, buses, bush, bushes, buzz, buzzes. Church, churches, match, matches, cat, catches. And in connected speech, weak forms are not observed. We'll come to that. So this example I have already given you, bus and buses, bushes, and match, matches. And one more, the past tense marker, for all the voiceless sounds, the past tense marker is ter, as in ask, asked. But for all voicing, it is de. But for a word, the verbs ending with ter and de, it should be id, as in want, wanted, want, wanted. Okay, right. And some diphthongs we have already discussed. Late is pronounced as late, and goat as in goat, and there. So dear friends, this is not at all a problem. The point is that we need to have constant exposure to the standard variety of English language. And it doesn't mean that we need to go for true imitation, not necessary. We need not follow received pronunciation, because our pronunciation is a physiological feature. Unless we have a second birth in England, we may not be able to acquire received pronunciation. As well as, even though in England there are a number of 100 varieties of dialects or accents, so received pronunciation is an imagination. So, but our speech must be intelligible. Our speech must be globally intelligible. It doesn't mean that we need to follow an Englishman, but our speech must be understood properly by either an Englishman or an American or an Australian or a Bangladeshi, of course, as an Indian. That's the context. And a good dictionary, it is a very real, true friend of us. And in a dictionary, we'll find the spelling and its wordless. And this is very important. It tells us the transcription, how it has to be pronounced. It should be computer. So here, the vertical line, we'll come to that. It's a stress, computer. Okay. And sometimes people pronounce the words in a funny way also. For example, there's a word in our class 10 lesson, RENDEZVOUS. I heard people saying rendizious. It is not at all rendizious, and it is not at all an adjective. And we have an assumption that words ending with OES are adjectives like poisonous, dangerous, venomous. But it's not an adjective. The pronunciation is quite funny. It is rendezvous. The fact is, the French word, loan word into English, but rendezvous, it's a meeting point or a common place. And we are coming to prosodic features or suprasegmental features. These are very tough for us. So what are prosodic features? We have come to a higher level. From word, we have come to what an utterance or a syllable level. A syllable is nothing but a unit of, for example, if somebody says, what's your name? My name is Raghuram. Somebody says, oh, Raghuram, what is it? What's your name? Raghuram. What's your name? Raghuram. What's your name? Raghuram. Did you get it? Oh, why are you shouting? So what am I doing? I'm trying to break my, my name into 3 units. Raghuram. Raghuram. Or somebody like Venkatramana. What's your name? Venkatramana. No, I didn't get you. Venkatramana. Venkatramana. So what's exactly happening here? We are breaking them. We are breaking them into some units. And, the fact is that we are breaking them into syllables. So a syllable is a combination of a vowel and or a consonant. A syllable, in a syllable, vowel is the obligatory element, whereas consonant or consonant clusters are optional elements. Right, my dear friends? So longer units cover words certain this, and we're looking to syllable and stress. This is very important. We'll come to that. And we have already done syllable. So you can see this is an example. Generally, vowel is compulsory as in and I, and C stands for consonant as in so, no, for, lie, lay, and no. And this is what we call consonant cluster. More than one is free and slow, stray, et, or, of, and act, acts, and acts, and streets. There are some words like texts, texts. This is very difficult to pronounce it. Generally, in normal speech, we say text. That's all. This is what we call cluster simplification. We don't take any risk, and our tongue finds the easiest way for uttering such sounds. Right. And what is the stress? In our Indian language or syllable time languages, all the units in utterance are equal. They are given equality. If you say Ramana, very simple, Ramana, all are equal. But if an Englishman pronounces like this, Ramna, you can find this, Ramna. Why? English is a stress-timed language. If there are more than one syllable will be very strong, and automatically the other syllables become weak. So this is what we call the degree of force which is superimposed on a syllable, particularly vowel, it what we call stress. In a string of utterances, we'll find stress. For example, if you take a word, take some words like university, university, the stressed syllable will have breath force and full vowel quality. And in longer words, you'll find primary stress and secondary stress. Primary stress vertically above the line, university, whereas secondary stress below the line. But there you don't find any breath force, but vowel quality is retained, right? And Indian languages are syllable timed, and whereas English is stress timed. In some cases, you know, stress is lexical. That changes the meaning, as in pal. In Hindi, pal means moment. Ek pal, do pal, wonderful songs we have. And pal is a fruit. In Telugu, karamu is a hand, whereas karamu is a donkey. So in English, stress is sometimes fixed and free also. And we generally have the tendency in India, we lay stress on the first syllable in all the cases, but there are some derivational suffixes that affect stress, like, you know, exam and examinee, examination, whereas diplomat, diplomacy, and diplomatic, photograph, photographer, photography or photographer, photographic. And apart from that, there are some disyllabic words that undergo stress when they are pronounced as nouns. The stress is on the first syllable. When they are verbs, we don't have any hard or fast rule. That's all. Absent as a noun, whereas absent as a verb. Concert as a noun, concert as a verb. Desert, desert as a verb. Object and object. Perfect, and it could be an adjective. Perfect, present and present. Produce, produce. Right. Very important is stress in poetry. In connected speech also we use stress, and sometimes stress changes the meaning. If somebody say, I like Vijay Kumar. Normal sentence, I like Vijay, or I like Murali. But if I shift the stress, I like Murali. What do you get it? That means I don't hate. I like Murali, or I like Murali, nobody else. So this is what we call contrastive stress. Sometimes if you change the position of stress, there is the meaning also changes. This is contrastive stress. And for example, I bought a bike yesterday. Normal sentence. I bought a bike yesterday, not a car. I bought a bike yesterday. I didn't steal it. I bought a bike yesterday, not you. And stress in poetry, very important, my dear friends. And that causes the rhythm, the occurrence of unstressed and stressed syllables. They cause rhythm in poetry, right? These are very common metrical patterns like iambic meter and trochee, spondy, anapest, and dactyl and pyrrhic. The earlier five are very important. So mostly we'll find iambic meter. In most cases we'll find iambic meter. And in some, anapest is also possible. I'm going to give you some examples. So it's a wonderful poem. We all might have studied at intermediate level. You can see unstressed and stressed. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over dales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lakes, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. It's a wonderful poem by William Wordsworth. It's written in iambic tetrameter. We'll have 4 metrical patterns, 4 meters, and each meter is iambic. And trochee is stressed and unstressed. He disappeared in the dead of winter. The brooks were frozen, the airports almost deserted. and snow disfigured the public statues. The mercury sank in the mouth of dying. This is a poem extracted from In Memory of W. Yeats, written by W.H. Auden. And Spondee, it's a wonderful poem by Tennyson again. Break, break, break. You find stress syllables. Break, break, break on the cold gray stones, O sea, and I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that rise in me. We'll find stress in rhymes also. Very excellent rhyme. My favorite rhyme is Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. In armor, without any stress, you say, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. No stress, no life. But if you add stress, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. It's a wonderful, wonderful rhyme. Right? Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. They are wonderful rhymes, dear friends. We all studied them, right? And this anapestic poetry, one example, you can see 2 unstressed and 1 stressed syllable. Now with joy sing aloud on this day, with bright sounds and bright tones show the way. For the sadness of life can abound, and the darkness of night might persist. So dactyl. Good example for dactyl, these are the word poetry, you can say. In the word poetry, with 3 syllables, the first syllable is stressed. Poetry and elephant and fortunate. And this is a wonderful poem by Lord Browning, The Lost Leader, which is a good example for dactylic meter. And another very, very important aspect is tone, intonation. What is tone? We are not machines, we are human beings. And in our utterances, what happens? Our pitch varies. It goes to high, it comes down, goes high, comes down, goes, right? You can say only one word like, cat, 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 cat. What is that is happening here? Our voice is moving like a wave, right? So this is what we call intonation, and stress and intonation, they bring in rhythm to language, right? A few issues are there: low fall, high fall, low rise and high rise, fall rise and rise fall. I'll give you examples. Low fall, very low. Good morning. High fall, good morning. Low rise, good morning. High rise, good morning. Fall rise, good morning. Rise fall, good morning. The same word, good morning, with all the variations. Where do we use them? For low fall, generally the factual statements. The earth is round. And not interested. How is the class? Okay. If somebody is not interested with this session, how is the class? Okay. When did you return? Sunday. Not interested. Very, curt, impolite. Why are you here? And sometimes, polarity questions. We are going on a picnic and one of our friends is coming. We don't want him to join us. So we say, are you coming? And in question tags, a question tag with a low fall expects agreement. It's a nice movie, isn't it? And for comments, when they are polite, sit here, meet me at 11 tomorrow. Very simple. And high fall, very strong. Did you go there last month? Yes, I did. And WH questions with the high fall, surprise. Why can't you go there? And the question tag with the high fall is demanding agreement. It's a nice movie, isn't it? And command, very angry. So if I continue the class until 3 o'clock, you people say, stop the class. We are very hungry and angry. Stop the class. And sometimes strong surprise. What a nuisance. So dear friends, high fall and low rise, it won't hurt you. Cheer up, encouraging and polite and strong insistence. Where can I meet you? Why did you go there? And can you do that? Doubtful. Can you do that? Is he coming? The question tag asking for information. They are fine, aren't they? And gentle command, sit here. And high rise with questions. Holiday? I'm going to Chennai. Where? Chennai? High rise. And fall rise. Excuse me, are you the photographer? Yes. If it is a filler, yes. What can I do for you? And sometimes doubtful, he is very clever, maybe impolite. You know, in clauses, the first, you find clauses in complex sentences, that generally the first clause takes the rising tone and the second one takes the falling tone. We'll come to that. Right. Rise, fall, very surprised. Excellent. How interesting. So in clauses, you know, if you work hard, you will succeed. And very important in connected speech. Dear friends, we read and we speak. And our reading and our speaking are different. In speaking, you know, there is some linking takes place. Generally in reading, cup of tea. But in speech, cup of tea. We never say, please get me a cup of tea. No, our language becomes unnatural. We say, cup of tea, the fried egg. So here it is what we call linking. We don't utter as two discrete words. We say fried egg. And sometimes, you know, these linking sounds occur. You please practice them. 2 eggs and 3 eggs and this or. Again, I want to tell you, the ending or is not pronounced in English unless it's followed by a vowel sound. Car, and a weak or, car and bike. But we say car. No, car and bike. Okay. And in connected speech, we need to use the weak forms. Generally, we say and. You can say and. Bread and butter. Of can be said as of, but, from, the, and contractions. Aren't you coming? And you know, assimilation, this very important feature, you know, the neighboring phonemes influence. For example, is a voiceless, is a voicing phoneme, but when it's preceded by a voiceless one, pray, it is a devoiced. And 10 players, you say, we don't say 10 players, it's pronounced as 10 players in connected speech. And sometimes when you come to longer words, we delete the medial sounds like windmill. We don't say windmill, we say just windmill, temperature, after a while. And very important, tips for pronunciation. Very important for us. My dear friends, there is no shortcut for success. Listen to yourself and repeat. Say the words, sit alone, very important. Sit alone. Sit in a room, close all the doors and windows, and take a recorder and try to read, try to say aloud and record your voice and check it to what extent you are right and try to modify your speech. Okay, listen to yourself and repeat and practice alone. And very important for communication is don't be too fast, nobody catches you. Don't be too slow, people feel boring. For example, if you say, dear participants, I am going to continue my session. By the time you all sleep, very boring. So don't be too fast or too slow. Maintain the tempo, the proper pace, and visualize your mouth. So I'm pronouncing a word like biography. Imagine what exactly is happening in the mouth. Biography. So what speech organs are active and what are the movements taking place within my mouth and how is the air stream, try to imagine. And very, very important is use a mirror. So take the phonemic chart and say pa as in pack, pat, cap, b as in bus, bit, rub, t as in tap, time, bat, d as in dog, do, and cord, k, and then fa as in fan, film, cough, v as in van. So do all these things standing in front of a mirror, and while articulating these sounds, observe your mouth whether or not you are right. So see how the organs are in action during the articulation of sounds. And minimal pairs. You can, this is a very, very simple word game. And what exactly happens? You have to change one phoneme, like a pin and bin. You can say p and b, it is changed. Or you can say pit and pat. In that case, e and a, as in they, and there. Again, fly, floor, as in court. Tongue twisters. We all know this, very, very funny tongue twisters. She sells seashells on the seashore, and the shells he sells by the seashore are seashells for sure. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. We have to put extra effort. And I'll give you one more. Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled pepper. A peck of pickled pepper, Peter Piper picks. If Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled pepper, where's the peck of pickled pepper? Peter Piper picks. Another example for tongue twister. Similarly, Betty bought a bit of butter, but the butter was bitter. So Betty bought a bit of better butter to make the bitter butter better butter. Keep trying all these tongue twisters. They are very simple and they are very funny also. This really helps the pronunciation and target some specific sounds, particularly in Indian context, the back vowels and diphthongs. And again, don't try to imitate the received pronunciation. It is only for our understanding, and we within India, we may not be able to acquire received pronunciation, but we may be in approximation to received pronunciation. That means our speech will be intelligible to everyone around the world. That's enough. And try to make our speech intelligible and comprehensible, and select some texts. Take a text and mark tone groups and assign tones and read aloud. So the rules already we have come across, and how to make tone groups and what tone has to be assigned, right? This is very important in storytelling. In storytelling, you know how the tone varies. You go high and down, high and down. It was a hot day. The wind was blowing very hard. A crow was looking for water. Oh, I am very thirsty. I want some water. But there was no water. The crow moved around and around and around, but there was no water. Oh, I am dying, said the crow. I must drink some water. At last, the crow found a pot, but there was very little water in it. How can I drink this water? Thought the crow. After a while, the crow got an idea. It brought some stones and dropped into the pot one by one. The water came up gradually, and the crow drank the water. I am very happy now, said the crow. So dear friends, in this, you must have observed tone variation and pauses and all. Okay, and Good practice, pay attention to stress and intonation in songs, rhymes, and poems. We have a very wonderful poem in 6th class written by Ralph Waldo Emerson, A Nation's Strength. So it's very strong poem. And again, you know, our pitch and tone tells us the mood also. A Nation's Strength is a very patriotic poem. We cannot say not gold, but only men can make a nation great and strong, men who for truth and honor's sake stand fast and suffer long. No mood is applied. So with extra force, you can say, not gold, but only men can make a people great and strong. Men who for truth and honor's sake stand fast and suffer long. Brave men who work while others sleep, who dare while others fly. They build a nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky. So see the strength of this poem. And again, a very, very interesting poem by Hannibal in the trees in 7th class. Trees are the kindest things I know. They do no harm, they simply grow and spread a shade for sleepy cows and gather birds among their boughs. Trees are the kindest things I know. They do no harm, they simply grow and spread a shade for sleepy cows and gather birds among their boughs. They give us fruit in leaves above and wood to make our houses of, and leaves to burn on Halloween, and in the spring new birds of green. They are the first when days begin to touch the beams of morning sun. They are the last to hold the light when evening changes into night. And when a moon floats on the sky, they hum a drowsy lullaby of sleepy children long ago. Trees are the kindest things I know. See how happy the poem is. Similarly, Vedamani Durfear and Antony's speech, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I came to bury Caesar, not to praise him. Very, very extra force. And a wonderful poem we had in our old 7th class book, Day by Day, I Float My Paper Boats. So find some songs, find some poems, and bring life to poetry, bring life to language with all its linguistic features. And some sample songs. It's a wonderful song by Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World, and this helps us to acquire the speech. Not only that, you can listen to the speeches of great people. For example, a very #1 speech still in today, I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King, the best speech ever. So once you listen to that speech by Martin Luther, you see pitch variation, strength and all. And it's a nice poem, song, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, and Here I Am by Bryan Adams. And it's a very funny poem, song. It keeps adding. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. The fry and the frog and the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. The fry and the frog and the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. So the song goes on. It is a good example for creativity. You keep adding clauses to it. And again, a wonderful song by from the movie Fiddler on the Roof. If I were a rich man, I will do-be-do-be-dum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Do-be-do-be-do-be-do-be-do-be-do-be-do-be-dum. I will do-be-do-be-do-be-dum. If I were a man. So you can see this song in the movie Fiddler on the Roof, and this is a wonderful song from Oliver Twist. I do anything for you, dear, anything for you, dear, anything for me. You can see this song in the movie Oliver Twist. Okay, now before that, dear friends, in today's class, in today's session, we have on the specific features of English language, and we have looked into the articulation of English speech sounds and how they constitute syllables, and we have looked into specific English features, stress and rhythm and intonation, and we have found some techniques to improve our pronunciation. And a very, a thumb mark is, no short practicing, that's all. And any queries, I invite, still we have time, 5 minutes time we have. I am with you, you can talk to me. Please talk to me. I request you just to unmute them, unmute the participants.
Sir, good afternoon.
Hi.
Sir, what a lively presentation, sir. It's very pleasant and very attracting, very interesting. All the participants are spellbound by listening to you.
No, I want your queries.
No, queries. Yeah, I will ask one query. So, what are the triphthongs, sir?
Thank you very much.
I
Triphthong.
would like to know what is the.
I came across it. I'll tell you, sir. Yeah, triphthongs. So, pure vowel, diphthong is a combination of 2 vowels, and triphthong, combination of 3 vowels, like, layer, a layer, here, more, but actually in connected speech, it is reduced to diphthong, that's all. This term is used by Peter Roach in English Phonetics and Phonology book, and he referred to this term, triphthongs, but I don't think they really exist. Because in normal speech, what exactly happens? Vowel reduction takes place, 100%. We don't say layer, we say layer. Player, nobody says player, that's all.
We pronounce it layer.
Sorry?
We pronounce it as layer only, not enlarge it.
The correct pronunciation is layer. Yeah, what I'm telling you, it should be layer, but we say layer. That's all.
Yeah.
The medial vowel is deleted. The medial vowel is deleted. That's very common. Vowel deletion takes place in most cases. Most vowel deletion takes place. We say not only vowels, even sounds also. Cup of tea, we say cup of tea.
Yes.
And even reduction, would you like to have a cuppa? In normal speech, we say, would you like to have a cuppa? Would you? We say, would you? Would you like to? Even cup of tea is reduced to cuppa. Would you like to have a cuppa? Cuppa, would you like to have a cup of tea? Would you like to have a cup of tea? The total string is reduced, and you just said, would you like to have a cuppa? That's all. It happened. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for your contribution.
Okay. Ramesh sir is there, sir.
Sorry?
Ramesh sir is there.
Okay, please. Sorry?
I'm Vijay, sir. Sir, most of the teachers have a dilemma. Please clarify the difference between phoneme, phonology, and phonetics. Phoneme, phonology, and phonetics.
Phoneme, phonology,
and phonetics.
And phonetics.
Yes, sir.
Vijay, phonetics, not phonetics. Phonetics. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to tell you 2 terms here. Grapheme is the letter. Grapheme is the letter which is associated with writing. The letters in the alphabet are graphemes. Phoneme is the speech sound. speech sound, not sounds that are not in connection with speech. Speech sounds. For example, if I say, they are not phonemes. They are not phonemes because they are not speech sounds. In some languages, there are ejectives, like, African language, they are also phonemes. Very typical, there is a bowler representing Zimbabwe. Its name is Mpulele Mbangwa. Very, very tough because M and P, generally they don't occur in the initial cluster of any English sound, but it is possible in Zimbabwe. African languages, they have even Bantu languages also. So every language has its distinct phonemes. For example, I'll tell you, j is a phoneme in English. J is a phoneme in English, but not in Telugu. So phoneme is the unit of speech sound. And phonetics is the study of production, perception, and even articulation of speech sounds. So phonetics tells us how speech sounds are produced or articulated and how speech sounds are perceived. And there are variants in phonetics, auditory phonetics, that how we perceive it, and even we have instrumental phonetics, and that talks about pitch, intensity. You might have working with a particular software like Pratt or Wave Surfer, and it tells us the string, how it's, and phonology, I'll tell you, phonology tells us how speech is realized. For example, I'll tell you bus and buses. Bus and buses. Actually, the underlying phoneme is. Underlying phoneme is actually, as in, z. Underlying phoneme is z, as in rubs. And even, just one moment. Any word ends with a voicing sound. Okay, cars, let's take it. But if it comes to the chords, what exactly is happening? Z became, that is devoicing. Became devoicing. But in case of buses, what exactly happened? Vowel is inserted. This is the area of phonology. And even in Telugu also, in Telugu we have the common morpheme for plural is lu, as in pustakamu, pustakamulu. Pustakamu, pustakамulu. But manishi, we never say manishilu. Manishulu. We don't say manishilu. Actually, lu, if you add lu to any Telugu stem, you get the plural, but it's not possible. And manishi, manushulu, it is what? Assimilation. So phonology talks about how speech is really realized. It can be vowel deletion, or it can be vowel insertion. Sometimes, epenthesis, what we call, for example, goose. Our goose and its plural is geese. What vowel epenthesis? The back oo, goose, oo is reduced. It changed geese. Wall fronting. So there are phonological features. So phonetics is the study of the speech sounds, whereas phonology talks about how language is manifested, how language is realized. I think your doubt is clear.
Okay, sir. Now Ramesh Renivatla raised his hand. Now Ramesh sir, just unmute yourself and interact with Raghuram sir. Ramesh sir, jet pages Renivatla.
Please.
Good afternoon, sir. Raghuram sir.
Okay.
Sir, how can we apply phonetics, sir? How can we apply these phonetics to prose and poetry in our classroom, sir? Methods.
Okay. So far, we have raised the curtain and just we have entered the world of phonetics. And I believe in today's session, I tried to present the phonemic symbols, and how you will be able to find the pronunciation in the dictionary. Okay. One moment. No, before coming to thank you, one more.
It is stopped.
One second. And if it, one second. Just wait. Right. And if you go to any word, for example, disaster, if you click on the speaker icon, you will get the pronunciation, and here it is a transcription. But in real context, I have already told you, to take any text and read it slowly. Wherever you give pause, put a slash. That is the boundary. And apply the tone, whether or not the text is happy or jovial or serious. For example, I'll take a poem. One second. I'll take a poem. One moment, please. I'm going to. Right. So this is our. Now I'm going to a very fine poem in 8th class. Okay, can you see this, Ramesh? And all the participants, pay attention. This is our working textbook. So it's a really wonderful poem. Where shall I? So what I do, where I want to stop? Stop. Oh, say the children, we are weary and we cannot run or leap. If we care for any meadows, it were merely to drop down. So first we are assigning tone groups. So and the mood also, it's very serious and very pathetic. For oh, say the children, we are weary and we cannot run or leap. If we care for any meadows, it were merely to drop down in them and sleep. Our knees tremble sorely in stooping. We fall upon our faces trying to bow, and underneath our heavy eyelids drooping, the reddest flower would look as pale as snow. For all day we drag our burden tiring through the cold, dark underground. For all day we drag the wheels are iron in the factories round and round. So you know how the poem touches our heart. Where I gave pause. For oh, say the children, a pause, we are weary and we cannot run or leap. If we care for any meadows, it were merely, again a pause, to drop down in them and sleep. This is a poem. And sometimes, running poems are there. There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. So it's a very, very tough poem. And, there it is very difficult to find any pauses. We'll see. One moment. Please hold the line. One moment, please. So, dear friends, if you take this poem, like machine we have to run. See this? Yeah, can you see this? There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. There he found that the ground was as hard, that a yard was as long, that a song was as merry, that a cherry. There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. That a cherry was as laid, that lace was as weighty, that for score was as 80, that a door was as wooden at in England. There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. So he stood in his shoes and he wondered. He stood in his shoes and he wondered. There was a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people there to see. So here it is a very, the poem is like a marathon poem and have to run like a marathon runner. So when you read a text or when you, what you have to do, you have to read it slowly and assign tone group, a slash, where you want to stop, where you want to have a meaningful stop, and then tone and the where you have to stress and which are the prominent words and less stress. This notation you can do in our textbooks, no problem, and assigning tones also. Because our textbook is, I do this in all my textbooks, even while reading the text also, I do all this. So this helps us to be good speakers or good readers. Anything else? Ramesh, convinced? Hello?
Ramesh.
Hello?
Oh, okay, sir.
Don't say, okay. Understood. Okay. After
Ramesh,
so you say, Vijay, okay, not interested. Okay, I'll be very glad. But somebody is very angry. Okay, the message is not given.
Okay,
Ramesh
okay.
sir,
Continue.
just unmute yourself.
So I want a very strong response. How are you say? Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Chalta.
Essentially,
Still, I think participants are enjoying siesta. Anybody? No. If somebody have had early lunch, they may be enjoying siesta. Please, siesta means sleep in the afternoon. Girijamma raised hand. Girijamma, madam, please. Girijamma, please unmute her microphone.
Okay, Girjama madam, unmute yourself and interact. Girjama madam, unmute yourself.
You have already bought a ticket and you are not entering the theater. Somebody raised the hand.
Girja madam, ask your doubt by unmuting yourself. Girja madam.
Now I request the participants, if anybody want to ask some questions to our Raghuram sir, please raise your hand.
Interact with Raghuram.
So I welcome to DEO sir. Sir, just joined our meeting, sir. Welcome to this session, sir. Now I ask the participants to interact with Raghuram sir. Girjama madam raised his hand.
Girja madam, ask your doubt. Unmute yourself and ask your doubt, madam. Girja madam. She is not responding.
అన్మ్యూట్ అనుకున్నారు కదా.
No, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Respond.
Jaganamma, speak out.
హలో
I can hear you.
సార్. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ సార్. రఘురామ్ సార్.
Very good afternoon.
Sir, I am enjoying your class, sir. It is today I am feeling very happy and you are looking very energetic, sir. And
Thank you.
today excellent
Enjoy
explanation
English.
about phonetics, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, excellent explanation about phonetics, sir.
Thank
I
you.
want more information about phonetics.
You
once
are
again.
query, not compliments.
Sir?
Your question. You raised a hand for a doubt.
No, sir. How no
I'm
doubt?
eagerly waiting for your doubts.
That no doubt, sir. He is only
No doubt.
expressing your feelings of listening to your class.
Okay, thank you very much. Then
Sir, especially okay.
Tell me, madam. Tell me. Girija, madam, tell me.
keep talking, no problem.
Sir, today I am enjoying this class, sir, especially
Thank you.
phonetics.
Thank
Sir
you.
explained very detailed, but we want more information about phonetics, sir.
Phonetics.
Madam, she wants, sir. Raghuram, sir. We want your PPTs to be sent.
Yeah, I will share the PPT in the group.
Yes, sir. That's what madam is expecting.
We'll do it. You are not alone. And you know, there are no strangers, there are only friends whom we have not met before.
Yes.
We're all friends, and although we have not met before, but this session is the rendezvous for us. So you are not alone, and send the PPTs, and you can be in touch with us. And Vijay, and particularly Narayan Reddy, I have seen him so active. Now he's as fit as a fiddle, and Vijay Kumar always industrious 24/7. And there are so many, unheeded or unheard melodies from Narayanpet.
Thank you very much, sir.
There are so many unheard melodies. I want to enjoy those melodies, particularly Murali, my old friend, and Namdev Ekbote, and a number of I can remember the names. And anyway, so Vijay, shall we call it a day? It is already.
Sir. Raghuram, sir.
Any more doubts? If any queries?
No doubt. You have said that unheard melodies are from Narayanpet, but heard melody is Raghuram, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Right. So
heard melody is Raghuram, sir. Thank you for you have touched all the aspects of phonetics, sir. Really, we are reminded of our PG classes. Excellent presentation you have done, and moreover, you are a nice singer, sir. Better singer. How could you sing such songs? We forget Balasubramaniam.
Yeah, and actually, for some poems, I got the tunes and they just sang.
Yes, nice, sir. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Songs are very nice.
I strongly believe in the word by Emerson and Frost, my favorite poet. And you find metrical patterns in Frost poetry.
Okay, sir.
In the yellow woods, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has all the difference.
Thank you, sir, from Narayanpet.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
DEO sir, Raghuram sir, DEO sir is online to just say farewell to all the participants who have participated for these 5 days. Thank you, sir. Please join the don't you. He now over to DEO sir.
My session is over. I believe my session. I am calling it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's all. Have a nice.
Thank you, Raghuram sir. Just to take back your screen sharing, sir.
Okay.
Screen sharing.
Yeah.
So thank you all for giving a nice presentation.
Thank you.
So we all people are blessed to hear your class, sir.
Thank you.
And from English Forum Narayanpet, from on the behalf of DEO sir, and each and every participant of English, we congratulate you. We thank you because you have given a nice and wonderful class. We know how busy you are. You are a linguistic legend, I think, because you have created unbelievable impress on our English teachers. So I think now it is a high time to end the class. Now our DO sir has joined the class. So I request one thing, sir, Raghuram sir, please share your PPT. Those are very useful to our teachers.
I'll do
So
it.
share them in our webinar group.
Yeah,
We will
sure.
circulate them to all
Sure.
the people. So
Sure.
thank you very much for giving a nice class. And one request from all our teachers, sir, whenever we call you, just to spare some time
Why not?
to give a class.
You are not
So,
alone. You are
okay,
not
sir.
alone.
Okay, sir. So thank you very much. Now, the time for valedictory session. Our DO sir is very busy. He will say some few words. Before that, I will uh, I will explain. I will tell you the participants. Nearly 10 participants have given their nice presentation in this webinar. So to from all to
Okay.
all, I thank you each and every RP. So the first day, 21, 9, 20. So the inaugural session was given by our Venugopal sir, essay English, Jet Pages, MGM School, Mahbub Nagar, and sir has taken the topic discourse-oriented pedagogy. So we thank Venugopal sir for giving a nice and very introductory opening session. So the second session, afternoon session, 12 to 1 p.m. was taken up by Aishwarya Vardhani ma'am. She is a research scholar from EFL University, and she has taken a topic teaching vocabulary. So it is a nice and wonderful class. Even though Aishwarya Vardhani ma'am was very busy, even though she is a research scholar, so after inviting her, she readily agreed and given a nice presentation. So thank you very much, ma'am. So the second day, 11 to 12 p.m., Khalid sir from ZPHS Koilkonda, Mamnar district has taken face sheet and authentic learning experience, and he explained each and everything to our teachers. Really, the class is very, very impressive and wonderful, sir. Marvelous class. So he has taken the topic learning face sheet and authentic learning experience. So the next session, 12 to 1 p.m. Syed Irshad Ali sir, he is from SCRT SRP, and he has taken online teaching tools, and the particular one quizzes. So it's a nice and wonderful class. Thank you, Syed Irshad Ali sir, for sparing some time for us. The next session, 11 to 12 p.m. was taken up by Lata Madhavi ma'am. So she has taken teaching through stories, teaching English through stories. And it's a wonderful class. Live interactive session was taken up by ma'am. So really, from our English forum, from our DO sir, from entire English fraternity, we thank you very much, ma'am, for taking that live session. And on the next day, fourth day, Ashok Reddy sir, second session was taken up by Ashok Reddy sir. He has taken professional development of English language teachers. So really, it's a nice class. Even though Ashok Reddy sir very busy, he spared some time for us. So really, it is a wonderful class by Ashok Reddy sir, and he has given one link, that opinion link. I have shared that link to all groups, and the teachers from Narayanpet district only just to fill that opinion link and submit it to Ashok Reddy sir. Now the fourth day, 11 to 12 p.m. TJ Koteshwari sir is from ZPHS Udityala from Mamnar district. He has taken a topic critical appreciation of poem. It's a nice and wonderful class. The PPTs are very apt and his presentation is very nice, sir. So he presented it very well from our all fraternity. We thank him very much, sir. The next sessions are Vinedhar Raju sir. Yesterday only Vinedhar Raju sir, SRP from SCRT, and he has taken learning outcomes. It's a nice class, and Vinedhar Raju sir lively interacted with the participants, and he showed a video, and he stopped that video and he asked so many queries to the participants. Our participants are readily interacted with the videos, his questions. So Raju sir, thank you very much. Now, the last first session or today's first session are taken up by Harnath Vemla sir. It is a nice class by Harnath Vemla sir. He has taken Google Forms, and the last session was taken up by our linguistic sir Raghuram sir, teaching English for Indian context. So we know how effective the class is. Everybody was participated in that class. So thank you one and all for making this webinar a great success. Now I request our DEO sir to address this meeting. DEO sir garu. Sir, DEO sir just interacts. Sir, now I request any one of our RPs will interact. In the meantime, DEO sir will join our session. I am seeing here
Vijay,
Aishwarya
Vijay,
Vardhini
sir.
ma'am. Okay, sir.
Vijay,
Okay.
Vijay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Vijay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tarun, Dr. Tarun Tamuli, are you in this meeting? Actually, my friend Tarun joined. My friend Tarun joined this, and he wants to. Actually, he was my classmate at MPhil level, and he did PhD in linguistics and phonetics, and he hails from Jorhat, Assam. And he was a tutor of DC Center scheme, Jorhat, where I was working for Mahbub Nagar Center. And Tarun has been with us, and he wants to interact with you. And Tarun did his research in phonetics. Tarun, at least, and with your permission. And okay, I'm very glad to see Miss Aishwarya Vardhani in the group. And please, Vijay, please invite Miss Aishwarya. She has joined our session. Yeah, anyone, any participant?
Aishwarya Vardhini ma'am, please unmute
Yeah,
yourself
she has been with us.
Yes, sir.
say something. Aishwarya Vardhini ma'am.
Yes, sir. What can I say except that this was such a great session, sir, and I had a chance to meet so many of you. I hope we can do things like this even in the future to stay, stay upwards in the curve and to learn a little bit more about implementing language teaching.
Okay, thank you very much, madam.
Suggestions? Any suggestions?
No, sir. I'm actually not a teacher, so yeah, I don't really have many suggestions for you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Due to the busy schedule, our DEO sir will not address this meeting. So it is a time to end now.
Vijay, 1 second.
Sir.
I'll speak to Tarun and I'll ask him to join us. 1 moment, please. Because, please, I have already made a request. Tarun, are you free? Our participants are waiting for your words. Please join and say something. Suggestions, your valuable suggestions, please. Please. Vijay, Tarun is coming. He's joining us. Dr. Tarun Tamuli is joining us, and he wants to speak to us. And meanwhile, I request the participants to interact. Let us not waste time. Time is precious. Say something and share experiences. How you worked with language.
But here we are running shortage of time, sir.
Tarun is joining us.
Exactly 1:30. Telugu webinar is going to begin.
At what time?
1:30. 1:30 it is already high time, sir.
So in that
So
case, if Tarun has joined, you please unmute him.
still he has not joined, sir.
Wait for a moment, please, Vijay. Because he is the person from Assam, don't forget. He is from Jorhat. He has been with us.
Still he has not joined, sir.
Please unmute his microphone. And please.
He has not joined.
Not yet.
Not joined.
Okay.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for every RP from you and DEO, sir. We will thank you very much, and we will last it's time to end this meeting. So thank you very much. Now I am going to end the meeting. Thank you very much.